but I had to attach the plaster on. You can still see it all stuck to the weave board and what have you. Yeah, you know what I mean. And it was like that in our last house. It was pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but it was just it was so cold in that house. It used to cost us what, about £200 a month to heat the house, didn't it? Ridiculous.
£200 a month?
Yeah,
Used to put more than
yeah,
that
we
on.
probably did put more than that on, to be honest. Freezing that house. I
Yeah,
loved
it
it, but it was
was.
freezing.
I remember when we first moved into the house, we didn't really know
What it would be like.
what it'd be like for price on, heating and stuff. And we kept putting the heating on whenever we got cold. And I think when we got the bill, it was nearly 2 grand
Yeah,
just for the 3 month period. I was like, what?
yeah. No,
It was really bad.
yeah, ours had that like cavity wall insulation and all that kind of thing. But the thing that was really really bad in the house we lived in, it was 4 stories. It was 4 floors, and it had a spiral staircase. It was an old one. So literally like the stairs you fell through the middle of them. You'd fall 4 floors down. So trying to heat the hallway, which went straight up to the roof, um, it was impossible to heat it, and the only radiator that was actually in the stairwell was on the ground floor near the front door. So you literally had like 3 floors that had no radiators on them or anything like that. So it was really really cold, and it didn't matter if you heated the other rooms or anything like that. It just got sucked away into the hallway, didn't it? So bad.
Yeah, but we found out that was because of the boiler, weren't it?
The boiler wasn't powerful enough, yeah,
Yeah, the boiler was in the
in the basement.
basement,
Yeah.
and it wasn't powerful enough. Or even, because they have a certain thing. Apparently, it was actually illegal to have that sort of
Yeah, it
boiler.
was. Yeah,
We found out just before we moved, didn't we?
yeah. They replaced the boiler like a month before we moved.
Yeah.
When they knew we were moving, they replaced it. But yeah, it turned out the boiler that we had in the house was built for like a two up, two down. Yeah, we were
Yeah,
renting
we
at the
were renting.
time. But yeah, it was like a two up, two down. It was built for a two up, two down, so it just wasn't powerful enough to heat the house, and it was like just burning gas. And it's like, oh,
Yeah, it was really bad. And
mm.
then we had an open fireplace, but we couldn't use it.
Because the flue were broken. Yeah.
The flue were broken,
And the
so we could.
landlord wouldn't replace the catch to open the smoke flue, so we couldn't even use the open fire. So it was ridiculous. Oh
Yeah.
man, it had open fires in every room, didn't it?
Oh yeah,
But
it did.
but because of the flue being broken, we couldn't use any of them.
No, we couldn't.
Yeah, that was really bad. That, but no, I do prefer the older houses. So like the age of yours, I do prefer them. They're lovely houses. They have so much character and all that kind of thing.
They
But
do, and they actually last.
they do last, yeah. Well, it's like we've lived in this house, what, 5 years now. Um, and in all fairness, we've not had a lot of problems, have we? A lot
No,
of
we
them
haven't.
have been sort of like cosmetic damage and stuff like that, the house settling and all that kind of thing. I think the worst thing that we've had go wrong in this house is the new UPVC doors are crap. I mean, that.
Oh, sorry, can I
Well,
just interrupt?
yeah.
I've got to wait for you to do the tedding, haven't I?
No, I've done it.
Have you done
Yeah,
it?
you
So
can
I
just
can
carry on,
just carry
Bailey.
on.
Yeah, because
Right,
this one
okay.
it'll
I've
wrap.
just been.
This one it'll wrap.
Alright,
It'll
I've
wrap
just
now.
been waiting for you to have a
We
break
have a
in
fireplace
talking.
inserted now with a blower on it. We supplement our main heat with that. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of what that house had. But it had open fireplaces all through the house, and then it actually had like a built-in heating system that sort of like went through the house from the fires. But because the flue wouldn't open to let the smoke out, the house just filled with smoke, so you couldn't use them. Um, PVC doors. Yeah, PVC doors. Yeah, we basically the back door in the house we're in now. It's a PVC door, but it's a full glass door, so the glass is really really heavy, and the door keeps bending, so that it starts scraping along the ground. And it opens outwards as well, so you've got to really slam it to shut it. It's crap. We've had them out to fix it. I don't know how many times, but
They've put like a glass in
they
it
put
now,
yeah,
haven't
they decided to put lighter glass in now, so that it shouldn't do it. But we'll see. Apparently, the glass that was in it was too heavy, and I was like, well, why didn't you put lighter glass in it in the first place? So, but yeah, there's a Pottinger that has a fast baler too. Yeah, there is a possibility. Yeah, I don't know why we decided to go with the CLAAS. I think Avexia chose the CLAAS baler.
I think you give me the choice, and I was just like, yeah, let's go for class.
Yeah, I think she just chose it out of sheer whateverness.
It's
um,
green.
I prefer square balers. I'm not a fan of round balers, to be fair. But yeah, I like the Vicon fast baler. It has a buffer. Yes, you're right. It does have it has the chamber, doesn't it? The pre-chamber, so that you can just keep going. Yeah, that's true. I actually forgot about that. I tend to forget these things. But yeah, no, I do like the Vicon one actually. I remember using it in 19 with it having the pre-chamber in it. You can just keep moving constantly.
Yeah, that is handy. When it is, puts it into the back, and then you can keep
Yeah,
going,
you
and
can
it
keep going.
puts another one in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sort of basically get half a bale before you start making a bale kind of thing. I like the round one. Wrapping square bales is a pain. They're fine for straw height. Yeah, well that's it. Well, it's like when I'm doing silage, I do tend to use round. But yeah, you're right. For square bales, it's more straw and hay that I tend to use it for. Right, so that is all the windrowing done, and you're now making some more silage, aren't you?
Yes. Wrapping them, so it's taking me a bit longer, but yeah.
It is what it is.
Mhm.
Let's take this back to the sort of farmyard. See if we
Sort
can
of
find somewhere
farmyard.
to put it. I also use a mower with a swath drops, no need to win mowers. Yeah, no, the one we've got does do swath drop, but obviously because we wanted to ted half of the field, we use obviously widespread. But I've actually just forgot to put it on swath for the for the rest of it. So, but it is what it is. Don't matter.
Oh, was I supposed to do something?
It don't really matter.
I don't even know. You're supposed to tell me.
No, you just sort of go with the flow, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I just do as I'm told.
Right. So let's take this back, and then we're gonna have to start moving some bales. But I think we're gonna need I think we're gonna need a bale trailer. Get all these moved. You said the swath drops. That's one way of doing it, I suppose. One way of doing it. When I first started playing, we didn't have fancy stuff like that, you see. It was a case of you mowed it, you said it, and you windrowed it. Yeah, they have eliminated the traffic on this map. It's don't get me wrong, I like the traffic on some maps for the ambience. It feels nice and all that kind of thing, but they can also be a real pain in the ass. They
Yeah.
can be a real nuisance.
We had to turn it off at one point, didn't we?
Yeah, they were being right nuisances. Like I said, I do like the thing being on at times, but sometimes I just don't. I don't like them. They get on my nerves because they're just so stupid, and they just drive into you and get in your way and annoying.
And get you stuck in places where you shouldn't be even getting stuck.
Well, it's like when we were playing on the base map when the game first came out. That AI that pushed my combine into a ditch and I couldn't get it out.
Yep. That was fun.
It was funny, but it wasn't funny at the same time. I was getting really stressed because I could not get it out.
That's what made it funny, the fact that you were getting stuck.
I'd not mind the traffic as much if it were more realistic. Yeah, true. Actual destinations, not having them run into sections, etc. Most of the traffic just goes nowhere. Yeah, it's true. True. It's just not intelligent enough. Don't get me wrong. Like argument's sake, I don't know if you play like Euro Truck Simulator. Again, it's not the most intelligent AI, but it's more intelligent than Farming Sim. If it was that kind of level, I probably wouldn't mind it so much. You know, I'd probably be a bit more tolerant towards it. You know, probably would have a bit more tolerance towards the AI if it was a bit more intelligent. I have it, but I don't play it much. Again, that's another game that I've sunk thousands of hours into. I think I've got about 1,600 hours on Euro Truck. And then again, I've got about 500 hours on American Truck. So. Mine's over the course of years, so I've owned Euro Truck Simulator 2 since about 2014, 13. So like the 1600 hours is from all those years from then. I've had it a long time.
You have.
Right, so we need something to move the bales. Yeah, choose to save now. Wrong screen. We need a bale loader.
Sorry if I'm not talking much, I've just been leaving you to it, bless you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Right, I'm not going to buy a bale loader because I don't think we need to keep it. I'll just lease it. Now. Yeah, we'll lease it. We'll do for now. I'm really surprised no one has recreated Calmsden Farm area. Apparently someone is. I was reading something on Facebook a couple of months ago. Someone is actually working on Calmsden's farm. It is under construction. So, eventually.
It's not surprising.
It's not surprising, no. Eventually, I wouldn't mind seeing it pop up at some point. It may not have the same name as Calmsden's farm, obviously, because they'd have to get permission to use the name of his farm. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did give permission, to be fair, if they could get it. So.
You know what's really funny, but it's such a simple name that he's named it, innit? But
yeah,
it's something you won't think of.
No, that's it.
It's different.
I've tried in the past. I have actually created a map before. I spent a long time doing it, and it's not easy. It isn't easy. Don't get me wrong, building the map itself and laying it out and all that kind of thing is actually pretty simple and straightforward. You know, it's pretty straightforward just to sort of like put your assets in and all that kind of thing. That's pretty easy. It's the coding behind it, because obviously, like, if you have like moving doors and gates and stuff like that, you have to put the coding in for each individual door, each individual gate. If you want the lights to work, just said light switch and all that kind of thing. If you want to go into that level of detail, it gets quite complicated. But if you keep it simple, so sort of like the level of you don't have gates, you don't have doors on your buildings, all that kind of thing, it's actually pretty straightforward. It is a case of just literally getting your assets together. Because there is assets you can just download to use, you know, that people share and all that kind of thing, so you don't have to make your own. You know.
Yeah,
well, that's
we
actually then
managed
alright.
to figure it out how to do the whole opening gates and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got
the
it.
whole movement. It was when we got it into the Giants editor, weren't it?
We were having problems with textures.
Is it the
Textures were having issues. It kept stripping the textures, yeah. See,
of the movable.
I know quite a bit of stuff like to do with that kind of thing. I'm not a coder or a programmer or anything like that. My level of like ICT skill is I got a GMBQ in ICT. That's about it. You know, but I've used PCs all my life, kind of thing, and I have done quite a bit of stuff over time. But when it comes to stuff becoming overly complicated for no bloody reason, that's when I get annoyed. I start getting really angry at it. You know, because when it's simple and straightforward, and you know, you can sort of like maybe watch a couple of YouTube videos or anything like that, and you sort of like, yeah, I get that, a bit of practice, it'll work and all that kind of thing. But we were doing the map, and we were sort of trying to teach ourselves as we were going and all that kind of thing, and we were having problems with some of the assets, weren't we? And the colour, the textures just were not sticking to the product, and it was like, well, why is this happening? And we kept looking into it, and then it kept saying like, you need to change this, you need to change that, and we was doing it and it still weren't fixing it, and after a while we just got to the point where we were like, sack it, can't be bothered. I won't mind, we weren't far off completion, were we? It was just certain assets weren't working, and it was like, well, I'd have to take them all out of the map. It was after an update, believe it or not. It was fine until we had this particular update to Giants Editor, and everything just broke. I was like, oh, but we weren't far off completion, and then I gave up on it, so it never actually got published, fortunately. I was trying to get the height map DM to work, and it just didn't. I have managed to do it to an extent. I actually did I actually did one of a farm in my local area, the height map and everything, and it does work to an extent. It's quite difficult, to be fair, when you're using the. Did you use the one where you use the Google Earth, and then it does like the red, green, and what have you? I can't remember how it works properly. It's been a while. Like it gives you like the red, green tones and everything like that. So it shows you your elevation, your elevation map and all that kind of thing. Because I remember doing that. Yours was black, white, and grey. Yeah. Well, mine was a coloured one that I did. I think it's basically the same thing. You know, and it sort of just gives you lumps and bumps of where things are supposed to be. So like obviously there's like bumps for trees and all that kind of thing. Right, yeah, the one I looked at, it was colour scale. But yeah, it would be a similar thing. But no, it is quite complicated. I kind of got it to work, so I could kind of get a gist of where things were supposed to be. But again,
so you ended up recreating it.
I ended up just doing it myself. Yeah, I ended up just sort of winging it. It was quite hard.
You did a good job.
I did do a good job of it, but it was hard.
It was really difficult.
Not the easiest thing in the world to do. I do commend app makers for what they do. You know, it's got to be stressful, especially when you first start out doing it. Go on, tractor, move.
I suppose though, once you do it on a long period sort of thing,
It becomes second nature, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say it'd probably be well easy after a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it becomes second nature after a while. But it's like with me, like on Forza, when I'm doing skins and stuff like that. It only takes me like 3 or 4 minutes to do a livery. You know, I can do liveries with my eyes shut.
Yeah.
Doesn't take me long. I've been doing them for quite a while, haven't I? So
yeah,
kind of get used to it.
Yeah, it's just up until you get to the point where
Are you comfortable with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with me, I get stressed with technical stuff. So I try not to do it if I can help it. So
I end up drawing a line, don't I? I'm like, right, nope, can't do it anymore, David.
yeah, that's enough.
Yep. Because you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it.
I drive myself nuts with it, don't I?
You do?
Yeah, I drive myself nuts. Yeah, because I've always wanted to make a mod for farming sim, proper one, but just never got it to full fruition. It's a shame, but maybe in the future.
Miss loads on this field.
No, don't worry, don't worry. Getting the bales collected.
Oh, you're going around collecting them?
Yeah. Would help if I stopped for the bale collector to actually move. Went a bit quick.
Slow down, you're in the country.
I know. Oh. Slow down, you're in the country.
Okay. Doing pretty well with this field. This field seems bigger than I thought as well. Oh, this is the same.
Same one, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it is bigger than it.
It's bigger than I thought.
Bigger than it looked.
There it is. I didn't actually realise it was the same field. I thought it was the one next to it.
No. We want to buy another field at some point though. But what I think we'll do with this field next time is we'll make more silage bales to sell.
Yeah.
Just to get some money in. Do you prefer the maps with character or the big flat open land maps? I prefer English maps personally. Yeah, character. I go for character over space. I'm not bothered if it's a big map, a small map. I don't really care too much on size. I just prefer it to have a nice feel. But that's generally what we're about, aren't we, when we're farming? We go for feel over anything else. We play quite a few maps, so like on I'm gonna take on YouTube, you know, we've got Stap and Back, we've got Chellington, we never did Sandy Bay on YouTube, did we? But we did play it. We have played Sandy Bay. We've got I think now. We've done quite a few. I can't remember the names of them. But like out of most of them, I'd say our favourites were Chellington because it had a really nice feel to it.
Definitely Chellington.
You know, we did like Sandy Bay, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We just found that the main farmyard just lacked a bit of lustre in it.
Yeah, we did.
But we're a big fan of Oxygen David. We're both quite a big fan of him. He's a really good map maker. He's a really good map maker.
He is a really good map maker. As soon as we found out that he'd done this one,
We were like, yep.
we were like, yeah, we're definitely checking that one out. And so far, I quite like it. It's not the best one he's done.
No, to be honest, I think with this map, he was just sort of aiming to get one out.
Yeah, at the beginning
at
of
the
this,
beginning.
the sort of, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that as well.
He was just sort of aiming to get one out and sort of get something on the map, kind of thing, for him at the start of the game. And then that'll give him some breathing space. Oh, going into the trees. It'll give him some breathing space to do something else a bit more detailed.
Yeah.
Because he did say that he wanted to do some new maps this time. He didn't want to do some remakes.
Which is a shame because I would have loved to do Chellington.
I know, but the problem is is a remake from FS15.
I know it is.
So it is unfortunate that we probably won't see Chellington again. But we'll see. We'll see in the future.
Out. And you never know, we might find a map that we like just as much as we like Chellington.
Well, there's a few on there now, isn't there? So, like we said, if the Xbox actually allows us to stream, like we said about making a second series, we'll try some other... yes, Old Stream is a remake from way back. That, I believe, originally came out on FS13, and it was out on 15. I don't remember it being on 17. It was on 19. So yeah, it's quite an old map, and it's just been remodeled every time. Another one as well is Shamrock Valley. That's another one that people like to remake as well. So if that pops up, I wouldn't be surprised. I think that was made by Bullet Bill, that one. But again, that's quite a nice map. Quite a nice map. Now let's shut that gate so that I can back in here. Yeah, on 19 it was very basic because I just did a quick port over. I think it was on 17, because it was one of the early ones that they brought out for 19. So I do think it was just a quick port over, so it wasn't very detailed. But no, it's a nice map though. I like it. It's the first map that you ever played, Shamrock Valley.
Yeah. I don't remember it all that much.
The one where you were trying to...
When I was trying to make mixed
Yeah.
rations. Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, the one where you were making mixed rations and started chucking stuff everywhere because you were getting annoyed.
Yeah, and I ended up doing mixed rations. Was it? It was what did I make in it? I put too.
Oh,
much
you
of
made
one
forage.
thing. Forage, that's the
Yeah, you
one.
kept making
Yeah.
forage. I kept telling you
And
how
I
to
kept-
make it. You kept making forage instead.
And I was like, why is it going wrong? You keep telling me what to put in it, and I'm putting the right things in, but it wasn't doing it. And I was like, "Grr." Yeah, I don't think I'll ever play on that map again just because of that.
Traumatised you.
Yeah, I think it did. I'll always associate it with it, won't I?
Yeah, probably. Right, so we'll leave the hay there. It doesn't look like hay. That's kind of weird. More like grass.
Yeah, that does look
No,
like
it's hay.
grass.
Hay.
That is really weird.
It's definitely hay. Let's wait for it to pull up. We're going to start collecting the silage bales. We have got a few there already, but just wanted to make sure we had a few more for the cows. Keep them all
Well, at least
happy.
we'll have a stock up and
Well,
we
like I
won't
said,
run out then.
when the field next grows, we'll make another batch of silage, I think, to sell.
Yeah.
Just to get some money, and then we could potentially buy another field.
Potentially.
Potentially. Depends how much we get for it. Depends how much we get for it.
Right, I've done the field. I think I'm just gonna go around and pick up all bits of mist. I think I might have actually a little bit more to do up there. Yeah, I do. I forgot the bottom a little bit. Do you know where it curves off?
Yeah, don't worry.
I was like, oh, I've done it. No, I haven't.
And there go the squished ears again. They always seem to
I
like
know.
running out in front of the tractor as soon as I drive past. roadkill.
I've got to admit the deers look real weird on
Yeah,
this.
they do.
Like,
The animals in general do look better, but the deers
Yeah.
on this do free lunch, yeah. Yeah, love a bit of venison. Make a venison butty. Or sandwich, depending on where you're from.
yeah, I suppose it does depend on where you're from. It's like muffin, innit?
Yep, muffin bap. Bam.
Bam cake.
Bam cake.
Roll.
I wish they do the other types of birds and just the crows. Yeah, no, it'd be nice if they did have some different bits in it. But saying that, we were talking about like how long Farming Sim's been out, and every 2 years they release a game, and every 2 years they add 2, maybe 3 crops. And it's like, there's so many crops out there, why don't they just add a few more? Or even mid-year, you know, like do a little DLC or something like that, just add in a couple of new crops with the equipment to go with it. And the two now have them all in
How many
them.
people would buy a DLC for £2 to £10 for a couple more crops?
Yeah, for the crops and equipment, of course it would.
A lot of people would.
To be honest, if I was going to get a DLC that give me, say, I don't know, 2 new types of crop, and then all the equipment to go with it, I'd quite happily spend $9.99 on it. You know?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'd be quite
Obviously,
happy to
if
do
they were
that.
bringing that out every other day, that'd be a different
Yeah,
story.
that'd be different.
But
Yeah, exactly. But the thing
you
is,
know.
though, you know, from Giant's reputation, usually they bring a DLC out, and then whatever's in that DLC will be included in the next game anyway.
Yeah.
So you won't have to pay for it again.
No.
The first one was FS 2009. So, been like, what, 12 years?
To be fair,
13
like,
years.
to be fair, they've been dragging it, sort of.
They have.
I think
But,
that's why they switched, weren't it?
I'll just go to say, this is the first game they've ever released without a publisher. They've always had a publisher hanging over them, saying you can't do this, you can't do that. So like all the production stuff that's in this one, they've actually had. I know this was a rewrite to make it. Yeah, it was. Yeah. They actually had all the production stuff ready for 19. They actually made it as a mock-up for 19, but the publishers would not allow them to release the game with it involved because they felt it was taking it too far away from farming. So it was backburnered. So then Giants decided, well, I'm off. I'll do it myself. You know,
To be fair, they could have done that years ago.
they could have done it years ago, but obviously they were a small company. It's the only game they've ever made. You know, it's you've got to give them time to grow, ain't you?
Of course you have.
But it's I'm glad they did make that leap because now we might actually see some improvement. Some of the gameplay. You know, the only thing I will say is since they came away from the publisher, they're a bit slower on the updates and repairs for broken stuff. Still, it's taken them a little while to get on board with that.
Might have done.
And in about a second, I will be done too.
So I'll go and put the baler back.
Go and put the baler back.
Awesome.
This trailer is very heavy. Go and put it in transport in possession when it's done. That is our silage and hay all picked up.
Yep. Cows are sorted for that now.
Yep, I don't think we'll have any problems with silage for a little while.
No, hopefully not.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Obviously that field's going to need a bit of fertiliser at some point.
Do you remember that map that we were on that kept dropping them in the middle of the road and they'd disappear?
That was Stappen back.
Was that Stappen back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was why we shut it down.
That's why we shut down that game.
Yeah.
I was enjoying that map, to be fair, but there was just so many bugs and glitches, it was annoying. I suppose they still have to get the okay from all the branded stuff. Yeah, that's true. They do have to get all the okays and thumbs up and all that kind of thing from the brands to make sure everything's all right and all that kind of thing. Just take time.
I've just crashed into the wall and I'm stuck.
Oh, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm doing something. Oh, there
Have you
go.
done it? Have
I'm
you done
out. I'm out.
it? But yeah, no, it's like argument's sake, Eurotruck again. They've been around for a long time. What are you
What's
doing?
going on?
You're going over the wall again.
No, I don't know what's going on.